In the following lesson, I'll start discussing the gradient tool. It's an amazing tool and necessary to have in your toolbar. All right, let's move over, and over the T here, you'll see this little icon. This is basically the gradient tool. So right away, our option bar at the top changes again, and over here at the first stage, we already have a gradient editor. More about that in a minute. Then as well, let's also just hit cancel here. Right away, we have again just a normal linear gradient effect. Over the next, we also have a radial gradient, angle gradient, then we have a reflected and a diamond gradient. So again, these are different type of shapes that you can select in order to create different effects for the gradient. Then over here, again, your blending options. Like I said before, I never really use this here specifically just for the gradient, rather than just using it on a new layer and changing things. Opacity, again, also the same you can do with the layer, and then obviously reverse it, or transparency. Let's actually get right away into this. So first of all, I'll double tap here to get onto the gradient editor and go right away over here. So presets are basically Photoshop presets. In here, you can select from a few different presets that Photoshop gives you already. But if you select the first one, it will always be the one with your foreground colors to background colors, as you guys can also see here with the name. So say for instance, if I take the eyedropper tool now here and select the yellow color, let's just hit cancel here. Okay, let's select the eyedropper tool. If we select yellow from our yellow color here, and now for our background colors, let's just select the background color. We will then go to a purple, hit OK. Now we have yellow and purple. If we now go back to the gradient, we will right away see here that we have yellow to purple. So these are always your foreground and background colors. The same goes over here, foreground to transparent. If we click on this, black and white, red and green, and so on and so on. And if you want to create your own one, you can simply hit new. You can select the one again if you want. You double tap here onto this box. This means obviously right away the color. Double tap on the color. You can also now don't show web colors. Go and pick say a light purple there, hit OK. Then also the last box over here, the orange again. And we can maybe make this also an orange, but just showing you, or more brownish color. And then in the center here, you can also play a little bit with the depth, how far it should be spaced. Also, if you click again, you can create a few more boxes in order to create a few more colors, kind of to make like a rainbow color effect. Let's stretch them a little bit out, a little bit more. I'm going to click again on this box. And maybe this time, yep, I just want to stay with the normal RGB, make it a pink. And this one will make a red or something. Let's double tap on this, make it nice and red. Okay, so right away you've created a brand new and different gradient. Now hit new and right away it will be here. You can also now save this and again at some stages load this. Just don't forget to give this a name. And you can also here have solid or with noise. I normally keep it to solid. Hit OK. And now let's actually try this. So how do gradients work? You simply take the mouse, move over to your image or your layer, and then hold, click, and drag. And while you drag, you will see there is a line appearing, basically a path, and this is the path of just the gradient. So right away, you've created a gradient. You can also make this longer, and again, bigger, and be very creative with this, or very short. Let's also go back here in our history panel just to clear everything, and show you guys another effect, which I use quite a lot. Let's select again our presets here. I'll go back just to our foreground colors, double tap, that's selected. And if I'll drag this all the way over the picture, we right away are left with this. Great. So I'll just go a step back again. And first of all, create a new layer here from the new layer icon. Then I'll go into the left corner, drag all the way down in order to create this cool gradient. And now switch my blending option here to either just color, overlay, hue, saturation, whatever I want to. And then also I'll work with the opacity in order to get a certain effect. Sometimes I also use this again on pictures in order to create a bit of a white halo at the end of horizons. For that, you can actually watch this tutorial here. Okay, so then again, you have this gradient now like this shape. I'm going to delete this layer and also create again a new empty layer. Now I'll go back up to the shapes and just select the rectangular gradient here. And now if I hold Shift on the keyboard, it's also making a nice straight line. Doesn't matter in which direction I'm going to go, but keep on holding Shift. If I'll go down now, it's trying to make a really great white reflection there in the middle, and then obviously going over into pink. Again, if I do the same process, you will see what type of difference effect I get. This is a bit of a playing thing. play a little bit around with gradients until you are happy, and also to see what type of different effects you get with this. So say something like this now, just made an effect with the gradient. Again, set the gradient to light blending mode and change the opacity to 60%. So that's how I normally work with the gradient tool.